Tears from Tom's father Alan when he broke the news. On the wing, Matt Banahan of Bath also wins a first senior cap, and up front a man on his way to Bath, David Wilson, starts at tight head. All three played against the Barbarians last week, but that was a non-cap game. In fact, it's the same front five that began against the Babas. Two changes in the back row. James Haskell comes in on the blind side, and Stephen Armitage wears 7. And to complete the alterations, on the right wing, Mark Cueto returns after a calf strain, and Dan Hipkiss comes into the centre. Jamie Noon is injured. Well, on to the benches. Well, you might think park bench for Julian White and Ben Kay, but how superbly these 30-somethings have mustered for Leicester this season. Their clubmate Sam Vesti will win his first cap if he comes on, while yet another Tiger, Marcus Ayerza, is the standout name amongst the Pumas replacements. Well, this is as strong as Argentina could be given the circumstances. The French Championship semi-finals went well for the Pumas. Secretly they wanted Toulouse and Stade Francais to lose the top 14 semis, because that released Albacete, Basualdo, Hernandez, Roncero and Leguizamon. They are without Alvarez Carreles of Perpignan and Mario Ledesma and Martin Skelso of Clermont, who all play tonight in the top 14 final, but it could have been worse. For England, this game and next week's in Salta has to be about development, with now 17 players either injured or on Lions duty. So like last week at Twickenham against the Barbarians, Martin Johnson has a smattering of inexperience in his side. But exciting young talent is emerging, with some snarling old growlers in there as well. Well, England have been very honest and very public about the deficiencies in that defeat by the Babas. They know where it went wrong, but how successful will they be in putting it right against a side ranked 5th in the world, one place higher than England, who, remember, totally dominated the final 20 minutes of the Babas game. England scored 3 tries in that period. The Babas tackle count was momentous, and England, you feel, must apply pressure this afternoon, but 80-minute pressure with a large scoop of increased cohesion. Well, the absentee, a notable one for Argentina, Felipe Contepome, but all round it's a powerful looking Puma outfit, looking for a 4th win against England in this their 13th meeting. And Argentina may have lost quite a few of the notables that took them famously to 3rd place in the last World Cup, but the Pumas are confident that they have the right men coming in behind those heroes, and Argentina's new dream is to be the shock troopers of world rugby once again. Well, England against the Barbarians and England versus Argentina. Well, could you have two styles that were historically more contradictory? With the Pumas, you pretty much know what's coming. The big, beefy, attritional approach, a flash of class here and there. Can this England side that has experimentation enforced upon them by outside agencies take control and snuff the Pumas' fire? It's a big task, perhaps, for big hearts today. Well, the most famous Puma in these parts is Carlos Tevez, and his rugby chums will be hoping to produce loads of his terrier-like tenacity this afternoon, and all in front of a Liverpool supporter in the captain lobby.
Say remain standing for the national anthem of Argentina, led once again by Rachel Hines.
Well, it's an anthem that lasts almost as long as a good Argentinian maul. And remember, the last time these two sides met, that was at Twickenham in 2006. Argentina won, and Martin Johnson, of course, has so many frontliners missing. The Pumas will fancy their chances of a second successive win on English soil. England hoping to build on their fight back against the Babas. 33-5 down, remember. But England did battle back to within one score, going down 33-26 in the end. And the referee is from France, Christophe Berdos, and rather significantly from a Lions point of view, he will handle the second test in Pretoria, Lions against South Africa.
Yeah, okay. Jim? Yeah, okay, thanks.
Almost all set to go, but Mike, where do you feel that England have to improve where they went wrong against the Barbarians last week?
I think last week they tried to do stuff too fancy. I think they tried to move it one pass too far from set pieces, and just tried to take it that little bit tried to be too clever. I think this week, knowing Smithy and knowing Jono, they're going to want to really put a marker down, a physical marker off set pieces. You know, Nick Easter going over the top of Hernandez. They're going to want, Stefan Armitage carrying up the middle. They're going to want to get all those boys in play, and hopefully they can do that. Straight to a Manchester United supporter, appropriately, and Mark Cueto of Sale. Danny Kerr at the scrum half. Albacete trying to put the pressure on him, the man from Stade Toulousain. Here's Hernandez, the magician. Across goes Dylan Armitage, and the ball will skid off this surface, and not a bad start from El Maggio. Yeah, that's a nice start. You expect skills from backdoor passes, beautiful switches. It just shows he's got he's a complete footballer. Put that on the 5 piece. His captain described him as the chosen one during the week, but he did have a twinkle in his eye when he said that, but he might be too far away. This is Hartley of Northampton Saints, getting another start for England, and it's gone wrong, and it's gone straight to the tail to Fernandez Lobbe. Definitely not the place where you want to lose your line out. Here's Vergasio, and here's Hernandez, the drop it goal. Sweet as you like. He's an absolute expert at those. He's at 12 this season for Stade Francais, and it's 5th in a Puma shirt. Yeah, I think, they're trying to set a marker out early doors. They've sat back, not tried to play too much rugby. They just want to get ahead and set a marker down and say to England, you've got to come and beat us. We're going to keep taking our points. And, that's a challenge for England to face.
Of course, all initiated by Dylan Hartley, completely missing his man in the line out, straight to Juan Martin Fernandez lobby. And the restart is well taken too. And well, the Sale captain had a wonderful season last year, and of course Sale will miss him badly when he heads off to Toulon to join the likes of El Bassetti in the French Top 14 Championship. This is Vergasio to Hernandez, and well, you can expect a lot of kicking from Hernandez in this game. Here's Armitage.
All right. Yes.
And that goes to Aguja. Aguja is wearing 15, but expect him to pop up on the wings with Hernandez dropping into the 15 slot, where he plays a lot for Stade Francais and also for his country. But the penalty,
Don't release the ball, yeah.
not releasing against England. The brave man, Andy Good, on the floor there.
It's been a very composed start by Argentina. A casual drop goal, a beautiful take at the restart, and they just seem to be able to push corners, and they're winning the early battles, and that's going to give them massive heart. And England have really got to get some composure into their game early doors and try and start setting the tempo and setting the pace of the game.
Juan Martin Hernandez, a drop goal already. Of course, this Argentina pack is being somewhat rebuilt, but it's still very, very strong looking. So Hernandez to double the lead, and as he pulled it, yes he has, it remains 3 points to nil. The drop goal from the number 10. So the 22. Andy Good of Brive, and with Aguja at fullback. He's only played there once for Brive this season. His clubmate Andy Good will know that, and may try to launch a bomb or two in his direction. And the ball stays in place, misjudged, and here's Vergasio, who recovers the ball for the Pumas.
It was an interesting choice of drop-out positions he's taken that from, wasn't it? On the 15-metre line.
Driven on by Karitsa of Biarritz, played against Gloucester twice this season in the Heineken Cup. And here's Hernandez, called the Magician. The ball disappeared there. He is a magician. Great take by Dylan Armitage under the high ball, because it was well judged. And here's Danny Kerr to Andy Good, and it's Galindo who's back there, the flanker. And Hernandez, it is interesting, he's dropping into that full-back position as much as he can defensively. Andy Good is back there for England. There's plenty of time, there's no kick chase.
All right.
And it's still in, and it's Hernandez. Little chip and chase from Hernandez, straight to Andy Good. Can they develop this, England? Hernandez got his man, his opposite number.
Offside number 2.
This is Danny Kerr back to Mark Cueto.
Away.
And it's a penalty for not rolling away.
I think with the advantage there, I think Hipkison May wanted to take that out wide. They had numbers.
Andy Good with a penalty, and some headlines last week after that match against the Barbarians. Old timers make England squirm. 10 of the Barbarians starting 15 were over 30. But look at this take by Dylan Armitage, Mike.
Ever since he's started on the international scene, he's been taking those week in, week out. It's a great strength of his game, and hopefully it'll stay there with us throughout this game, because I think there's going to be more coming his way.
Good attacking position for England. Can't hardly get his man this time. The first one was very wayward, and he goes to Borthwick, who doesn't handle it accurately. And here's Danny Kerr. He can be devious around those fringes, can't he, Danny Kerr? James Haskell just standing off. Hartley picks and goes.
No.
Stefan Armitage getting his second cap. He played against Italy in the Six Nations, of course, and he goes in there to try and dig the ball out. And here it is, eventually, in the hands of David Wilson, one of the new boys, one of the 3 new caps in this England team.
Interesting that there's a lot of space behind the Argentine line. The 2 wings are on the wide outside with no one in the middle. After those chips last week, you could see them.
And Andy Good tries one of those chips, and it's good sweeping by Vergasio, but there's offside against the Pumas, and you would think a reasonably simple opportunity for England to tie things up here. Okay, let's go down to the touchline and join Graham Simmons.
Mark, thank you very much. Andy Good just getting ready to take his penalty shot. Interesting, just going back to Juan Martín Fernández's shot a few moments ago at the other end. Both these kickers kick the ball with a very, very high trajectory. And if you look at the posts here at Old Trafford, they are very, very short. Had that Hernandez kick been, what, a foot, 2 foot to the right, you wouldn't have known. I was standing right behind him. You wouldn't have known whether that had actually gone over or not, because the posts are so short. So could be a problem for the officials. Here goes Andy Good. Mark, back to you.
Might be a busy day for the TMO then. Jim Ewell. Andy Good drills that one low enough and straight enough, and it is 3 points all here at the Theatre of Dreams. About 40,000 tickets were sold for this game, and it was hammering down rain up until about an hour before kick-off. It was a day more for SpongeBob SquarePants than rugby players, but it's eased now. It's dried up and the conditions are pretty good, but it's slippery out there. Yeah, the papers again, you know, they said England needed a bit of a rebooting. They played with plodding predictability last week. They need to improve from that. Martin Johnson was very honest in public in his comments after that game, saying they must increase the intensity. Danny Kerr. And in comes Leguizamo, comes off his knees, and it puts Hernandez under pressure. Good hands from Hernandez. And here is Fernandez Lobe. Vergasio wasn't watching really, it squirted back, and Stefan Armitage does a brilliant job on the floor there, the London Irishman. And now what will Mark Cueto do? They go into midfield to Dan Hipkiss. Dan Hipkiss has big Banahan outside him, tries to offload to Hipkiss, but there is a knock forward.
Yeah, just Danny just went across field there looking for someone to come, and Banahan just came a little bit short on him and didn't hit him at full pace, and just tried. They started like they did last week, just trying that one too many offload instead of just trying to get some momentum into their game. They're just going to try and get that momentum, and then they can build on that.
All those newspaper comments about England were quite negative, but Josh Lucy said after the game, he played against them, England are on the cusp of a potentially exciting time. All the foundations are there, he said, and they're missing 17 players, England, on Lions duty and injuries. Here's Hernandez, runs into big traffic there. Leguizamo is out in midfield for Vergasio and Fernandez Lobby as well, so the 2 back row forwards are there together. Vergasio pointing to the big blind side and the big ball carriers, rumbling it on for Argentina, but they've given away the penalty for not releasing here.
Great heads up D there by England. I was watching Argentina warm up, and they were doing a bit of a zigzag from in the field, and the forwards have gone up and not just chased around the corner, and that's led to that turnover.
Manuel Carriza Biarritz was the man on the floor there, and he'll be joined by Ian Bolshaw and Ayula Arinley next season down in the Bay of Biscay. Andy Good from the halfway line. Now David Beckham's scored from here.
I don't think he had a T though, did he?
He did not. Good, another low pump kick, and he's pulled it left. He had a couple of hooks last week in the early stages of the game against the Barbarians. A man who's been really on fire with Brive this season, 235 points in the top 14, and of course came out of the almost international wilderness in the Six Nations. In comes Cueto. He would love to score on the ground of his soccer heroes. Easter chases. Easter puts Leguizamo on under pressure.
Advantage blue.
The advantage goes though to the Pumas and they drive on. Good drive by the Pumas pack, and that's where they can show their power. And it's Tiesi to Avramovic of Montauban. Hernandez in behind Andy Good. Here comes Camacho. Ooh, what a banana kick from Andy Good. That was sensational.
I don't think it quite happened how he wanted it to happen. He seems to put it on the outside to try and, as they do, banana it in, and it's sort of held up in the wind and come back out. Here you see TAC, great offload, looking to keep the ball alive. If Argentina can continue to do that and play, they're going to cause handfuls. And here's that kick. As you saw, he pointed it towards the touchline to try and bend it in, and it seemed to drift back on the wind. And you'll take those all day long, I think.
Get that on the DVD, Andy Good. Quick. Send it to Alex Ferguson. This is Kuritsa, who takes it well at the front of that line out. Of course, the reintroduction of them all, the fact you can't collapse them all, really does suit Argentina. And here's Cueto looking to take it quickly, which he does. Dylan Armitage looking up, seeing what's in front of him. Banahan is chasing this one hard, and Borthwick and Banahan between them. They weren't quite sure who was going for the ball, and it's Leguizamon now. Well, did he knock that one forward? Yes, he did.
That was good. Thank you,
Again, a bit of the game that Dylan's been working on really hard. You can see how he's put it up and then left Banahan to chase. It's a tactic they're trying to use to keep him at the back for if the kicks are returned. Obviously, a fumble that he won't be happy with.
Argentina famously strong at scrum time, and England have stacked the left-hand side of the pitch here with Andy Good and Tom May and Hipkiss there and Banahan, and it's quite a tight channel.
Yeah, I think what they're going to do here is they just want to give Dylan a chance to show his pace, but as they marked it a 3 on the 2, I would imagine they'll go down the blind side. They'll have some cancel call.
Well, it's very scruffy ball. Here's Armitage, and here's Tom May on his debut. Good dancing run by Tom May, who's been playing a lot since Christmas at 10 for the Newcastle Falcons.
Here's on his feet.
Another player off to France. He's going to Toulon. And have they lost the ball on the floor here? And they have lost it. And a chance to run, a chance to move. Avramovic, here's Hernandez. And across comes Camacho with Cueto.
Great shepherding by Mark Cueto there. He bought himself a lot of time by sitting back and just shadowing, forcing them out to the extra defender that the touchline is. Great feat by Tom May. This is what he's shown all year for Newcastle. He's been sort of the one shining light up there who's held the team together, and it's thoroughly earned his call-up. If you watch Quates here, he sucks himself in just to make it so they have to go towards the touchline or put that kick through, and then he shepherds it well.
Dylan Hartley, 4-man lineup. There's Deacon, takes it cleanly, the Leicester Tiger. Nick Easter in there. We saw him putting in a few big robust runs against the Barbarians last week. Danny Kerr, the Quinn waits. And away she goes. Straight out of play. Danny Kerr, the 22-year-old, his 10th cap for England today. Twice man of the match in Heineken Cup games this season. And that is Patrizio Alvacetti is just behind him, and here's Fernandez Lobby, and now it's Galindo who's got the ball. There was a hole in that line out, and he went straight through it, Galindo. And here's the Rodrigo Roncero. He's built like a strong box, is Roncero. Here's Hernandez, Avramovic now, up to the 22. You always look to see here where Hernandez is, to see if he's in the pocket, but he's not on this occasion. Orlando stands over the ball. And the Puma pack, you just know they'd love to get themselves into a position where they could maul effectively against this England side, because they do it so well. And it was a big loss to their armoury, that ELV. Roncero picks and goes just into the 22 now. And here is Hernandez to Tiesi, and Tiesi bounces off a couple of tackles. Dangerous situation this for England, but the ball is very, very slow for Argentina. England working really hard on the ground there, and they get a penalty as a result.
Problem is there, I think Argentina are ending up committing so many men because England are doing a good job at the breakdown that they've got no options really, and then they've got to restart it, and it's just going to slow the whole thing down. And you know, England will be happy just to stand there and keep knocking them down and get opportunities like that to turn it over. Always the way, the non-throw always helps out. It's like the pass that goes to the floor that beats every defender and you run through the hole.
Yeah, he just tipped it on to Galindo, didn't he? And well, that's where the penalty was given away. And it's Borthwick. There's Danny Kerr. Flat ball to Easter to Stefan Armitage, trying to get across that advantage line, which England found difficult to do last week. Good work by those two, the back row forwards. Here's Hartley though. Can England maintain the momentum in this drive? Danny Kerr back to Andy Good. If Hernandez can do it, so can Andy.
It's a great drop goal by Goody, but if we went back to the phase before off the line out, again I was expecting Nick Easter to crash it up over the game line, whereas you end up and they've had to go for the drop goal because Nick passed it on to Armitage, and luckily for England with Armitage's legs drive he got over the game line, but it's just then killed the momentum and they've had to go for a drop goal.
Hernandez, he gets incredible height on those restart. What a take by Steve Borthwick. Did a real captain's job there. His back looked almost elasticated. And it's England who are outmauling the Pumas. They won't like that. Here's Danny Kerr, chance to break. And covering that space was Juan Manuel Leguizamo. And here's Hernandez. Easter takes it beautifully. Wonderful take, class take by Nick Easter. And Danny Kerr, fellow Harlequin, to Andy Good. Puts it in between Vergasio and Galindo, the back row forward. Aguja.
5-1.
It's Dylan Armitage. There's Andy Good inside him. And that is going to stay in play. Oh, it's Vergasio who makes a bad mistake there. And pouncing straight away was Dan Hipkiss. Now, can they manage to burrow the ball out here and use it? Danny Kerr, there's lots of players in white to his right, but it's very slow ball again. Andy Good, what can he do with it? He puts the chip in, the skew-if chip for Tolmay to try and get on the end of. Advantage here to England. Someone's got to get to the ball. It's Basualdo though who gets there first, so no advantage. England ball.
Having trained with Borthos at Bath for 8 years, I've seen that all the time. There's hours spent practicing that, and again something that Nick's worked on in his game. Nick Easter, it's a great take under a massive pressure. Vital things that England need to do, and there's how not to do it, I think.
Nicolas Vergasio, who's possibly joining Bayonne, currently plays for Dax. And there's the England captain.
Just looking from when we're back in in England's 22, Argentina are putting 3 or 4 back, and we're still boxing to them. I think England have got to look at playing one extra phase to try and exploit that and try and bring them forward. And unfortunately, I think they're playing into how Argentina want to play a little bit at the moment. They're getting into that kicking duel.
Well, yeah, Ireland have found that over the years that Argentina are sometimes inclined to suck you into playing the way they want you to. Ask Eddie O'Sullivan and Declan Kidney for that matter.
Same scrum. No, the ball is not. Keep working. Work.
England scored 4 tries last week against the Barbarians. They've scored 20 tries in 6 internationals they've played in 2009 England. And Christoph Berdos's arm is out.
Number 3.
And penalised is the tight head prop Orlandi.
You now.
Juan Pablo of Rovigo, or was a Rovigo, has signed for Racing Metro, apparently the side that was promoted from the top 14. And Andy Good, who seems to be enjoying his time in the top 14, to hopefully extend this England lead. Look at the penalties conceded by Argentina so far. Andy Good, he likes it straight away. 9 points to 3 to England. Andy Good, whose drop goal took Brive into the Heineken Cup next season.
Yeah, if you look at this off the scrum, they've got some great depth. They've obviously got a move that's going to come and play behind that. Unfortunately, the scrum didn't quite go as they wanted to, but interesting things behind that scrum.
Mention Andy Good's drop goals. It shows his ability to kick under pressure. It was in the 77th minute against Bourgoin, and Brive needed a drop goal to take them into the Heineken, and Good produced, and he's already produced 1 drop goal in this game. Danny Kerr. Vergasio is back there, and Leguizamon, formerly of London Irish, off to Vergasio, who runs into Marquedo, and then he knocks the ball forward in contact. It squirts back for Danny Kerr into the midfield. And again, it's imprecise from both teams.
Again, they're dropping it on his channel every time. Just has a little juggle this time before taking it, and then shows great strength to stay on his feet and bide himself some time. Speaking to a few of the Ireland players after the Six Nations games, and they were just saying how hard he is to bring down. He's a big man.
Danny Kerr, Andy Good, the kick goes in again. It's a Gouger, remember, he's only played once there this season at fullback, and maybe it showed there, but Fernandez Lobe clears up on his behalf. 1 game there for Argentina, 1 game there for Brive Gouger. Here's Hernandez now.
I think that Andy Good knows that he's only played there once this year, wouldn't you? I don't think he's been nice to his teammate there, do you?
Well, I had a quick word with Andy before the game, and I said, yeah, he's only played there once, hasn't he? He said, yep, he has. And Aguja kicks the ball straight to Andy Good. Danny Kerr been pulled in there by Aguja, and away goes Danny Kerr, terrier-like, to Stefan Armitage, who's driven back hard in the tackle. Good aggressive defending there by Caritza, the second row, and Danny Kerr, and it's Mark Cueto. This is Hernandez. Up comes Big Banahan, and he banana kicks, but not quite as effectively as Andy Good did a short while ago.
England are using that well, you know. Quates has got a great left foot, and they're always working him into position so that off scrums, off early ball that they don't want, he's there on his left peg to drill those corners, and you know it's paid off there.
So it's an England line out. Dylan Hartley.
Banahan lurking inside Andy Good there.
Borthwick, Danny Kerr, here's Andy Good, and they use James Haskell, and Leguizamon tackles him. Hernandez was in there as well. Misses out Tom May to Andy Good, to Hipkiss to Cueto, and here's Armitage. There's Armitage tackled after the goal. Banahan! It's Boom Boom Banahan, who scores on his debut. It's brilliant from England, and look how they love it in the theatre of dreams at Old Trafford. And Banahan must have dreamed of scoring in his first appearance for England at a capped international, and he has produced.
Yeah, beautifully worked try, great hands by Dylan Armitage on the outside and Quates, and then a great little chip from Dylan. He was claiming he got taken out. This is what I was talking about earlier. It was simple. They hit Haskell early. He's got great strength, holds himself up. They get quick ball from it, and then as we roll on, you see just play a little decoy behind. Great hands from Quates, great little chip, and there's the big man. Lots of pace, and you're going to struggle to stop him from there. I think he enjoyed that one.
Well, he's the tallest and the heaviest back ever to play for England, but didn't need his height or his weight there, just awareness. And 14 points to 3 now to England.
I know Leslie Vanicola will be interested to hear that stat. He'll be so happy.
Hernandez. Oh, look at Borthwick again. He's like a gymnast. He's Nadia Comaneci times 10.
Yeah, it's the first.
Oh, here comes Roncero, and it's forwards on Roncero. Can't believe it. Argentina felt they could have been in with a chance of a real smash and grab response there.
Yeah, I think Haskell just went the wrong way there and got himself isolated a little bit and didn't have any teammates. And here we see it again. Great lifting, and then an outstanding take. You know, Borthers will do that all day.
Both team respect my call. Both team, thank you.
This Argentina team without 7 of the side that started the 3rd, 4th place playoff in the Rugby World Cup, so that shows the rebuilding that they are doing. And here comes Fernandez Lobe, strong, powerful runner. Great rugby player. Here's Cariza. And Cariza tries to set quick ball. They get the scrimmage though. And will we see the famous Bajada, the Argentine scrimmage they use close to the line? There's another player who's based in England, Lalane, the replacement scrum half for Argentina.
Yeah, as you see here, Quates, fast hands. I think Dilla was probably going to claim that he was taken out, but the sweeper just couldn't pick it up, and it sat up beautifully for him, and I think he's enjoyed that. Probably going to get another tattoo for that try, I think.
He's got plenty. He's got a Spitfire down one side and bullets, and he's got "Earn Your Luck" tattooed on his body somewhere, and he earned it there. And it is a good scrimmage by Argentina. They try to get the second drive on here through Leguizamon at the tail with Fernandez Lobe, and now it's Hernandez is almost there. Stefan Armitage had to do some very good work, and he was just one of the defenders. The advantage going to Argentina here. Where's the ball? The ball they want so desperately. There it is. They pick and go around the fringe, and again they go, and they're only millimetres short of the line here. But the referee is giving the penalties come back. No advantage, he says, and Fernandez Lobe was so close there, not once but twice.
Not 5 metre on the scrum. Post.
Early signature to the post. I think you know Lobe wants to stay in touch with this game. He doesn't want to miss opportunities. I think it's the right decision.
And he played all 7 of the games in the Rugby World Cup in 2007, did Fernandez Lobe. Albacete also played all 7 games, and he was one of their talisman in that tournament. Hernandez gets it and closes the gap. 16 points to 6 with almost half an hour gone. 1 try in the game, falling to Matt Banahan. Just getting through the initial tackle there of Andy Good, but the back row was covering.
Just a little over chase from Mark Cueto's job on the inside is to back up the 10s inside, but also if they put a little grubber through, he's there to sweep, and he just got over chased there.
Great take by Fernandez Lobbe. Yeah, just as well that Nick Easter and Stefan Armitage were behind Andy Good there. Here's Vergasio. Hernandez. He's not just as good off the left foot. Cueto lets it roll into the 22.
Lovely kick, lovely. That's what he's got. His left foot is so reliable nowadays. Something he's worked on throughout his career. It's paying off.
Lewis Deacon and Fernandez Lobbe. It's quite a cast they have at Toulon next season. Felipe Contepome, Lobbe, Fernandez Lobbe there, Johnny Wilkinson, Rory Lamont. And that's Deacon. And here's Danny Kerr. Andy Good, Tom May on the little switch ball. Was he caught high by Hernandez? It's okay, says Christophe Berdos.
No problem.
Danny Kerr to Andy Good, missing out hip kiss this time. It's Nick Easter in the line to Dylan Armitage.
Hands off!
But the Pumas defend that well. Kerr to Good. Now he's got Hartley and Cueto chasing this one. Camacho, remember he's the amateur in the side, plays his club rugby for the Hindu side in Argentina. Andy Good, Matt Banahan, the big bruiser, off he goes for a thunder, and he almost gave away the intercept to Arambaru. Had his arm out there, and Easter, thankfully for England, ends up in possession of the ball.
Yeah, I think England just want to, in a situation like that, they need the ball. They need to have time with the ball in their possession, and I just think there, Banahan, I want you to run over the top. I want you to get into those players, and then you've already got 4 supporting players there, and we've got a great platform to then come back. I just think that, you know, we're teeing things up for Argentina again. We're playing into their hands a little bit.
Easter to hip kiss, rolls around to Danny Kerr. Here's Andy Good. That's Tom May, misses out Armitage, and Cueto, oh dear, dear. Big disappointment there for the man in his debut.
Yeah, I like the way England are trying to pick up the pace of the game. They're trying to take Argentina out of their comfort zone. Just hands here, just straighten and draw, and that, you know, that's basics. Tom will be really upset with that, and not as upset as I'm sure Dylan will have had a few quiet words in his ear after that as well.
Vergasio. Fernandez Lobbe controls. Here's Hernandez. Another thundering kick. Oh, was it going to go? Oh, what a bounce. Whoever designed a rugby ball is a masochist.
I think Hernandez must have create your own luck tattooed on him somewhere as well, I think. No?
Well, he is supposed to be a magician, so he can probably tell it what to do. Waves the wand at it, and it goes exactly where he wants. Like there. Dylan Hartley, last time they were here, he overthrew it and put England on the back foot. Goes to Deacon.
Yeah, I think last time they went for the over-the-top back ball. Well, I'm sure they'll take an easier option this time.
Deacon again. Danny Kerr.
Sensible option there, 4 at the back. Just get out of that area and put pressure on their line, I think.
13 players leaving Harlequins for next season. 7 arriving, including Rory Clegg from the Newcastle Falcons. Falcons have lost a lot, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. I know they're going to try and do some rebuilding, which they need to do, really.
Osvaldo and Fernandez Lobbe got his hand to it, but it puts his own side under pressure, a little bit of pressure. But it's Puma ball. And off goes Orlandi. Tackle from Deacon. Just marshalling, guarding around the edge of the fringe there.
He's the first. He's on his feet. He's on his feet. Play the ball before the ruck. He's playing the ball before the ruck. 4. Yeah, the 6. Okay.
So 5 minutes go to half time. 16-6 to England. They've only played one rugby union international here, and that was against New Zealand in 1997, which they lost. Very famous game when Richard Cockrell squared up to Norm Hewitt at the haka, nose to nose. You may recall Dylan Hartley, and it's Lewis Deacon. Here's Danny Kerr. Nick Easter to try and pulverise this defence. Get across that gain line. Get front foot football for England. And here's Hartley, the industrious Hartley. Now can England create the space? Where's the ball? Back to Andy Good. One drop goal already. Make it 2. There's your double. 3 drop goals already in this first half. And England extend that lead.
Yeah, I think that shows that England have come here to definitely win the game. They're not all about showpiece rugby. I think that was predetermined from a long way before, the way that Andy had already dropped back there. Great first up line out. You know, Nick Easter straight over the top of it. What Martin Johnson and Brian Smith will want. Gave them plenty of options. Andy Good dropped in the back pocket, and another 3 points to England.
Hernandez, Nick Easter drops that one. Karitsa tries to pounce, and it's knocked forward as England try to recover there. Vergasio, and here is Avramovic. Vergasio, Hernandez, and Leguizamon takes, a hit that would have to be measured by a seismologist. Here's Avramovic, and he's tackled by Deacon. Hernandez on this left-hand side. The advantage going to Argentina here, and they're going to get the penalty right in front of the post.
Great hit by Tom May there. And I think Dylan just spent too long over the ball. Ruck must have been called, and he's given away the penalty, and an easy 3 points for Hernandez. Yep, here you come. Solid man, Tom May, and Leguizamon's not scared of contact, so 2 men coming together, and Tom May's won that one. He'll be pretty happy with that, I think.
Well, that was a real bulldozer of a tackle there by the sturdy Tom May. And look at that, 30 years of age, making his debut. Very proud day for him. Here's Hernandez then. Should be straightforward for him, and it is. 19 points to 9, so Argentina's fight back perhaps begins. Felipe Contepomi famously at the World Cup said, "We are not a team, we are a brotherhood," and they're going to need a bit of that mentality from here on in.
Yeah, definitely. From England's point of view, Martin Johnson will be disappointed with that. They've gone from a great position, great, well-worked 3 points, to messing up a kick-off and giving them the option to get straight back in it.
Andy Good, straight down the middle of the field here. Up goes Fernandez Lobe, and it took 2 grapples to get his hands on the ball, but the ball he has.
Just a little bit long, those kicks. I'm not getting the challenge on that catch.
As Fernandez kicks the ball as if he's got nitroglycerine on that right boot. It's incredible. Andy Good, just too much on that from Andy Good. Back they will go. And it'll probably be the last play of this first half, and the last opportunity for Argentina.
15 seconds. We play the line out. No. We play. 15 seconds.
A few of the boys thought it was half-time. They were heading to the tunnel, I think.
Yeah, because the tunnel's in the corner, you see. That's the big confusion here. But Verne Basualdo puts the ball into the line out, and Alvacetti with the dummy jump, and it goes to Leguizamo. Vergasio, here's Hernandez. Oh, and again it's Tiesi who takes the ball on and takes a big hit.
Tom May again.
Well, there were a few problems with that midfield defence last week against the Barbarians. They sliced through that channel on a couple of occasions, did the Babas. But with Tom May there this time at the moment, there's no chance.
No, definitely. You know, England will be happy with this. They've sucked Argentina in. There's only now 4 players out in the open field out back for Argentina, and it makes you feel very safe, and we've turned it over.
Yeah, Lewis Deacon's got his hands on the ball, and Hernandez was setting himself possibly for a drop goal. Can England go here? And Banahan is outside hip kiss. Couldn't quite get the offload, but the ball is still in play. Remember, final play of this half. And there goes the whistle for half time. So Martin Johnson eases his way down the tunnel, so frequently populated, of course, by the great stars of Manchester United and by Sir Alex Ferguson. Don't think they're going to get the hairdryer at half-time, England, but you never know with Martin Johnson. The half-time score, there was 19-9 to England, and there's been 1 try so far, and it's scored by that man on his debut, Matt Banahan of Bath. What a tremendous moment for him. It was set up by the delicate chip from Dylan Armitage, and the finish gratefully received by Big Banahan.
Of it, the simplicity of the phase play, the simplicity of just quick hands and creating stuff. He'll want to lose giving easy points, and we're off.
And Banahan takes it straight away, and he loves a crash, doesn't he, Banahan?
Yes.
He's famous for it. You talk about Martin Johnson at half time. I hope he wasn't throwing any boots at his captain across the dressing room.
Just picking up what Ian was saying on in the studio, they need to get, you know, Banners the ball in situations, not just kicks over like that where he's obviously got a height and weight advantage over his opposite number, but also running off Andy Goode. You know, Andy Goode is very good at manipulating space, putting easy balls inside and outside of him. When you've got a man of that size and that power, you have to utilise that. Interesting setup from Argentina.
Abramovic standing very close to Vergasio. Arambaru is tackled by Haskell, right under the nose of Nigel Owens. And it is Arambaru, Martin Arambaru of Dax. So many French-based players on the pitch for Argentina and for England from next season on, for the England ones, apart from Good, of course. That's Deacon who took it. And here's Easter from Kerr, and here's Banahan, and that's where you want to see him. Banahan crashing through the middle of the field, using that 6'7", that 18 stone. Andy Goode, reverse flick for Lewis Deacon of all people on this side. Well, it was Andy Goode. It was 3 of his little chip kick scrubbers that led to tries a week ago.
Yeah, great ball from Nick Easter. Everyone thinks he's going to carry it in. A lovely ball behind Stefan, and that's where you want him. You want him challenging that back row coming across. He's a big, strong, fast man. Always a difficult tackle. In all fairness, Leguizamo did a good job hanging on to him.
He's smaller on him, Leguizamo.
I think there's quite a few people smaller than Banners though.
Verne Basualdo battles with William Servat and Virgil Lacombe, but Stade Toulousain for that hooker's berth. That was taken by Caritza. Vergasio, Hernandez, and they're all trying the banana kick today. ...26 years of age now, Juan Martin Hernandez. And a swap between 15 and 10 this season with Lionel Bouksis when he was fit. Bouksis missed quite a bit of the season with injury. Guillaume Bousses as well plays 10 and 15 for Stade Francais. So quite a bit of mixing and matching between those shirts this season at that club. Here's Danny Kerr. And Danny Kerr can play with a delirious frenzy at times, can't they?
That's why they call him Mighty Mouse.
And they're trying to get it across that gain line by half a yard, and not rolling away by Argentina, putting the defence under pressure,
on the floor,
and a chance maybe for another 3 points for Andy Good if he does signal for the post, which he does.
It was clever from Argentina off the back of that line out. England were feeling a little bit under pressure maybe in the line out, have gone to the front, and the back row have cut off that channel to go. You know, Banahan was lurking outside Andy Good, and it looked like they've cut that off on purpose and sent Danny Kerr down a little bit of and closed the hole on him.
If anything, he's kicking into the breeze here in Manchester, so he struck it low, he speared it between the posts, and England's lead stretches.
It's Argentina 9, England 22.
15th cap, by the way, for Andy Good now. And he's past the 80-point mark, and Hernandez is that going to go 10? Up goes Fernandez Lobby and plays it.
No.
And the answer is no, and Fernandez Lobby has gone down injured.
Probably wishing he didn't play that. He landed quite awkwardly flat on his back there.
And he went down like Humpty Dumpty, didn't he, Fernandez Lobby there? But he seems to be okay.
Again, England are going with this interesting setup of just leaving. I think you'll find that they'll run. They'll send Danny Kerr down the... Oh no, they've got wheeled the scrum.
Advantage. You're binding. No, the ball is inside. 7 and binding.
Well, there's a binding problem there. Karica's not too happy with something that went on in the scrummage, and he squared up to Lewis Deacon.
You can see what England are trying to do on that scrum. They want to give Danny Kerr, he's fast, they want to give him that launch pad down the right with Dillon coming round with him. But unfortunately at the moment the Argentina scrum is very strong, and it's giving him a little, they're getting the wheel on, which is cutting down that option.
So Andy Good is going to have another crack here, much longer range this time. Good strikes again, he struck it low, but this time it is not accurate, so it stays 22-9. Andy Good, he was saying James Haskell's been on the phone asking him about what the lifestyle would be like in France. I imagine it's slightly different in Brive than what it might be under Max Guazzini at Stade Francais.
Yeah, so I think you're along the right lines there, and especially with Goody being married and having kids, and James not, I think it'll be different anyway.
Yes. Leguizamon to Hernandez, and he's sliced that one straight down the middle of the pitch to Dylan Armitage and London Alice, and the ball is returned, and it's Leguizamon. He's tackled by Payne, Tim Payne of Wasps, most experienced member of the front row in terms of starts for England. Avramovic is brought down well by Tom May. He's been really aggressive in the middle of the field defensively. Roncero takes it on, and it's a penalty for not rolling away against England.
Attacker, yeah, but
Roncero, who's battled for that one shirt at Stade Francais with Sylvain Marconnet this season. Marconnet does, though, play on the tight head side as well, quite frequently. And Argentina very strong in certain positions. You look at the loose head side, they've got Roncero and Yerza, they've got Juan Manuel Leguizamo and Fernandez Lopez, who can both play at number 8 superbly well. But here is Hernandez. And Argentina need to get points on the board quickly. And is he the man? It's a languid strike of the ball by Hernandez. How smooth was that?
Yeah, very smooth. They had plenty of time to spare. He could have gone from his own 10, I think, there.
Sweet. Very, very sweet.
Yeah.
So 22-12, 10 points the difference now. And Argentina will feel they are within sniffing distance. Oh, the setter is driven into touch by the former lock forward who knows all about forward exchanges. Matt Banahan.
Yeah, he's definitely already making his presence felt, isn't he, on this field? And they need to use that. They need to use him more. And I just, you know, you've got such a weapon there. If they can carry on with that, they're going to make great yards.
If you want to see Banahan at full force, YouTube his name and you'll see him playing for Jersey against Guernsey. It's worth a look. Here's Dylan Hartley and Borthwick takes it well. That's great line out ball. It's Nick Easter in midfield to Andy Good. Here's Armitage to Cueto. Cueto tries to stand up Aguja.
Argentina shut the gate very well there.
Andy Good again. It's that cross kick. It's Hartley who's chasing it. So too Deacon Hernandez. Well, that was cool again by Hernandez, and he knows there's no one back for England. Danny Kerr is sprinting across, and sprinting up is Arambaru, and that's good chasing by the winger. And throwing the ball away, so they get a penalty. Danny Kerr penalised for that. It looked like on this near touchline, and a very kickable position again for the Pumas.
Yeah, you know, he's tackled into touch. He's tried to make it look like he's lost it in his tackle, but great kick through, great chase, no one at home, great work rate by Danny to get over there. And as he's hit into touch, you just see him, I think he threw it a little bit too early, a little bit obvious, and the referee's picked on it, and a good refereeing decision, really. That looked like it hurt, falling off that little ledge there.
Remember his slight indiscretion in the final moments of the Stade Francais Harlequins game in Paris, when he almost could have cost Harlequins the game there. But a back shot on that occasion it was. Here's Hernandez then. Now we saw him at his best a few moments ago off the kicking tee. They need the same again to Argentina, and they have got it.
Yeah, England are going to have to be very wary at the moment. He doesn't look, you know, Hernandez does not look like missing. And, you know, England are just giving the ball away too easily. They've got a great position. They've had to go down the outside. Easy thing would to just come through the middle, try and create another phase and then play either way. Unless they've had an idea to play the kicks to the over and take advantage of the wingers, you know, they're just missing out on ball in good position.
The Pumas are normally very popular in this stadium, particularly Carlos Tevez, but not right at this moment. And here comes the maul from Argentina. Albacete, he's such a strong man, and is a regular starter in Guy Noves' Toulouse side. Bit of a shock defeat that was for them in the top 14 semi-finals. Here's Hernandez, up comes Danny Kerr. That's good work from Danny Kerr this time. He smothered Hernandez. And Vergasio get his hands on the ball, and he's pulled into that exchange. And there she blows. Guizemon, Karitsa trying to create some airspace in there somehow so that Argentina can get this ball away. Gasio, and he does clear it. Banahan, now they can go. Oh, they could have gone.
Yeah, that was on then for them to go. Just from how scrappy that was, the Argentine midfield had been pulled towards that maul. It's great pressure by Danny, you know, just to get up there and make it uncomfortable for Hernandez, take him out of his armchair ride that the forwards are normally giving him.
Another four-man line out. It's been popular on the England throw to Borthwick, and why not when you get ball like that? Here's Andy Good, and here's Haskell. Haskell hit by Basualdo. Good tackle by the hooker. Danny Kerr looks down the blind side, sees Borthwick, decides to go for Andy Good for the hat trick. But drop goals, it's pretty well struck, but the penalty was coming, and Andy Good knew that.
Yeah, I don't think the crowd wanted to see that drop goal there. I think they knew that the advantage was there, and they wanted to see it given a little bit of width and play a little bit and then come back for the penalty. Can't try and steal all the limelight with droppies.
Well, maybe it comes from playing in France, because right through the top 14 the 10s do seem to have this habit of dropping a goal, don't they? I mean, we see Hernandez and Boxies at Bourgoin, Benjamin Boye and Morgan Parra. That's pretty much how they score all their points there. Not quite, but you know, lots of them.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I would have liked to have seen that go to the corner and England try and stamp their authority down. A great line out.
So Andy Good for the three-pointer, and the flags go up, and it's 25 points to 15. But yes, frankly, the big crowd here at Old Trafford, they want to see a bit of flashing, running rugby, don't they?
Yeah, it was great though. The line out, Haskell straight up the middle, over the gain line. Obviously Argentina made a good job of slowing the ball down and gave away the penalty. But that's what England need to base their game around more. They're getting that good set piece to then play off.
Well, once they've got that platform, and again, it's not good at the restart. But fortunately for England, the knock-on came from a Puma.
You can just see at the moment with the Argentinian restarts compared to the England restarts, they're getting people up and competing and making it a lot more difficult. England's are just going a little bit too long and not having that competition side on it.
Kerr, Andy Good, and here's Mark Cueto. Oh, and it comes off Avramovic. By the way, next week's test match in Argentina is in Salta in the northwest of the country, in the foothills of the Andes, and it's a 20,000 sellout there, so there should be quite an atmosphere, and they can be rather hostile in that part of the world.
I was going to say, I don't think that's going to be very friendly if you're English, is it?
Taken by Deacon. Danny Kerr, and here's Hernandez. Oh, and Stefan Armitage got up on him very quickly there, and now it's James Haskell coming in. And he was bubble wrapping there, wasn't he, James Haskell? Good defence by England. Now Hernandez, a lot of space on that side. He's given the ball to England in that space. Here goes Dylan Armitage, line of defenders in front of him. Danny Kerr to Andy Good. Can we see some inspirational rugby now from England? Here's Dylan Hartley. Haskell. Danny Kerr. Danny Kerr sees the hole. Danny Kerr, and he passes the ball only to Fernandez Lobe. And it's for Gasio. Here is Mark Cueto, and Armitage as Hipkiss outside him, and he gives it to Hipkiss. It was a hard pass with a chin, but Hipkiss took it really well. Where's the support? Support was actually pushed out of the way, Tom May, by Galindo. The referee was about to give a penalty there. Changed his mind. Argentina ball. Vergasio. Hernandez passes to Avramovic, and here is Tiesi. Tiesi in the Sky Sports Dream Team, remember. fine centre, Arambaru.
No inside.
England are down one player, so it's 15 against 14 at the moment.
Forward.
And that looked like a knock forward by Galindo of Racing Metro. Sebastian Chabal and Lionel Nale have joined that club for next season.
Yeah, it looks like Danny Hipkiss is down on that side after that run. I think he's landed awkwardly on his shoulder, or I'm not quite sure. He looks in a lot of pain though.
And there's Alvaro Galindo from the Tucumán province. But yeah, Dan Hipkiss, he's built like a breeze block, but well, it was first of all Vargasio who he got through.
I don't know whether it's where he's landed on the ball there, whether it's jammed into his ribs. It's definitely, or whether he's landed on his shoulder, I'm not sure. He looks in pain though, and he's a tough lad.
14 stone 11. 14 stone 11. How can you? Well, you can, of course you can. 14 stone 11 pounds, 5'10". So yeah, that breeze block analogy seems to fit pretty well when you see him jogging back, doesn't it? He's a strong man, very muscular build, and has played so well for Leicester in recent times on the run to the Premiership. Well, that's Easter. Yeah, here's Danny Kerr. Danny Kerr. He sees the gap. That's going with Danny Kerr. The hot wide, Danny Kerr. But he couldn't hold on the pass. But they might get the try because the ball came off the foot. And England get their second try of the game, and what a moment for the Armitage family on that pitch.
Yeah, we've been talking about it earlier on in the game, how they want to get that wheel so that Danny Kerr can go down there and use his pace. And just if you watch here, it's just simple, an 8-9. It's so much space for the number 6, Galindo, to cover. And they're good footballing by the Man United fan in his field of dreams. And Dylan will take that all day long. Just great pace from Danny, and then shame about the pass, but great skills by Quates, and it's an easy pick up and just drive over for Dylan. And there's the two brothers.
Brothers in arms, aren't they? Second time they've played together for England. Andy Good with the conversion, he strikes it well. Now England beyond that 30-point mark. One of the players nominated for this season's Player of the Year award.
Just great pace, just too much for Galando to do. And then, as I said, Mark Cueto at his home ground in terms of football sense, just tees it up for his mate.
So Alex should have played him against Barcelona, Mark Cueto. They might have won the Champions League.
Inside.
Danny Kerr. Somehow tap back on the England side, but that's got to be
an offside.
An offside. And it's against the replacement. Looks like Marcus Yersa has come on, and also Santiago Fernandez stands by. Also from the Hindu club, can play out half or centre. So it'll be interesting to see who comes off. In training this week, he was playing in the 10 slot. Was Fernandez.
I think from Argentina's point of view, they try and do too much with Hernandez. You know, he's up at 10, but then he drops back for the 15s to cover the kicks and cover the kick tennis. I think they need to build around him at 10 so they can get forwards running off him, and he can play the backs out into space. I think whilst he's trying to tick every box, you're taking away the strength that he has.
Well, Abramovich was a doubt for this game, as you can see, that mummified right leg of his. So Fernandez has gone into the centre. Good ball again from the line out. Here's Andy Good. Here's Hipkiss now restored after that injury. In comes Banahan to clear out.
No, go away.
And Guizamo's got to get away from there. It is Andy Good to Nick Easter. Tackled by Carrick. So that's good work by the second row forward for Argentina. But again, away come England. And Cueto. What's Burdos going to do here? He's going to let play go on. And it's Danny Kerr to Hipkiss. Now it's Armitage. Armitage is tackled with Banahan there.
Inside, no,
The ball stays in play. Here's Hipkiss. Basualdo with the tackle.
It is.
It's going to be England ball though for Danny Kerr. Argentina player is down injured in the middle of the field. Tim Payne has the ball from Nick Easter. And this is Mark Cueto coming more and more into the game. Is Cueto, what an offload, a backhander to Dylan Hartley. He's got support outside. Big Lewis Deacon it was. He's popped up in the wing twice in this game in interesting situations. Here's Andy Good, now Nick Easter, Basualdo, and that's okay, it's play on. It was a Yersa who got in the way. And now here's Albacete off at a canter. Advantage going to the Pumas here. It's a penalty, and well, we've seen Hernandez
On the floor, and you put the ball.
kick them from here already
Straight down.
with ease.
Coming down here, I think he just gets underneath Quates' arm. Oh, it's just there's nowhere for him to go. There's just a weight difference, I think, there, and he's just been hit by a truck from the side. The Guizemont, known for big hitting, catches him sweet, and Quates got nothing to do but go down with that one, I don't think. Great offload there, keeps the ball alive, keeps momentum alive. I think this is what England need to be doing now they're away and playing. They just lose their shape in the next couple of phases, but they have to stick with that. They have to stick with how they're trying to play. Last week they were too all over the place, and they didn't really set down a stall, and they've set that down today, and now they're just trying to build on it. Those offloads will come as Argentina's defenders get tired. Those offloads will come, and they can exploit those spaces behind and get Quates, Banahan and Armitage in the game more.
So 4 replacements ready to come on, 2 from each side. But in the meantime, here is Hernandez. The gap between the sides is very wide. Tryless Argentina so far, not quite this time from Hernandez. He's been superb so far off the kicking tee, a drop goal as well. Replacements come on. Amorecino is coming on for Argentina. David Wilson comes off on his debut, the tight head. Martin Johnson very impressed with him against the Barbarians last week. Gave him his debut this week. And Paul Hodgson, Dodge Hodgson of London Irish, comes on. And Danny Kerr comes off. That's good applause. That break from his led to England's second try. Here's Leguizamon to Hernandez. Up goes Hodgson, but in fact it's Tom May who takes the ball, and the Pumas try to turn him, but England have the ball. Hodgson, who added a fair amount of energy last week when he came on against the Barbarians, but it's Agashio who's all over him. Also on is Mr. Jay White, the Invigilator.
The impact sub.
Yes. Andy Good for Gusha. Gusha takes it well and then steps outside Dan Hipkiss.
Release!
Now not releasing the ball, and Christoph Berdos wants a word. They have given away a lot of penalties in this game.
No, don't play.
Argentina.
No, wait. 15.
Will it be a warning or worse?
No, too many penalties. I say release. Can play the ball.
Interesting place to keep the card, isn't it?
Goes to the sock rather than the pocket.
Just to confuse everybody, but that's into the bin for Agusha. Horacio.
15 doesn't release it.
Now, from England's point of view, it's a massive advantage. It's hard enough when a forward goes off, but when a back goes off.
Well, again, Andy Good, not for the first time, he's getting the boo treatment. Of course, Steve Borthwick is the man in his ear saying go for the points, but the Old Trafford crowd, they want tries on the board.
Yeah, I think it's easy to say to keep ticking the score over, and but with 15 minutes to go, England have also got to be looking how they're developing and how they're moving on into the next game. Yes, they have made improvements, but also they want to be making improvements in their shape, in their style, at how they play. And easy decision to go for 3 points, but whether it's the right one, that's just proved it's not. That's karma saying that you should have gone for the corner.
The Angels were not shining on Andy Good and England there after that decision.
I mean, you see where England are coming from. They are here to win a test match, and no one could ever go, beyond that and how you feel on the field. You have to win, but they want to play and they want to express themselves. They've got a young, vibrant team out there. They need to express that.
Camacho feels to gather the ball first time. Gasio, Hernandez. Argentina really have struggled to score tries in recent times, and they're perhaps showing today again why they've hardly threatened the England line, except for a short spell towards the end of the first half. Here's Tom May, Dylan Armitage. Here's Leguizamon, and he misses the ball completely. Armitage gets his hands on it. Leguizamon tackles him. Now they want that quick ball, the snappy ball for Hodgson. He's screaming, where is it? I want it, give it to me. Here it is now, here's Good chips through for Jordan Crane, the chase after, and Banahan inside, but it's Albacete who gets there for the Pumas. And Fernandez lobby coming in from the side there, Argentina. The penalty to England, so what will they do this time?
The one side.
Yeah, the crowd will prefer this. Listen to the roar.
I think both of us can hear the crowd through his headgear. I think he's made the right decision there.
No, number one.
So the great up and under again. We've talked about Dylan all the time. I think Leguizamon was too interested in getting up in the air there. I think he had plenty of time. A great recovery from Dylan. I wonder if you'll see the try they scored against Scotland and France with there.
The ball's been knocked forward there.
And again, look, Banahan has chased all day. He's not just scored the try. That's great hands. He's got nothing to lose there. He's going into touch, and it's just unfortunate that Tom May's a little bit too flat on him. No fault of Tom May's, but it could have quite easily sat in his hand and he's strolled under the post there.
If that had gone to Tom May, they would have been celebrating Matt Banahan here as the new Ronaldo.
I'm hoping to see some first phase move here that'll put him back underneath the posts.
Well, Banahan is right in the centre of midfield. To his right there is Tom May, you can see, and Dan Hipkiss. Matt Banahan is stretching his calf muscles, an expectation, little wink. Is it coming to me?
He's done a lot of running today. I'm not surprised. He's chased kicks. He's just about covered every blade of grass, I think, on the field.
Good drive by the English pack and by Crane. Here's Hodgson to Andy Good, and Banahan was the dummy runner, and here is Armitage. Cueto was outside him, but they couldn't ship the ball on quickly enough, England. Doing goes Julian White.
See,
the big farmer from Market Harbour, all 18 and a half stones of him.
In some ways, I've got sympathy against Julian there. The 9 is coming round the side, trying to get in the ball, and he's just made a.
With shoulder, not by the gut, and
He's going to get done for
on
a
the
shoulder.
player is very
He's
dangerous.
gone for the sock. And it's
for
not
a
good
shoulder.
news when Burdos goes for the sock, and Julian White is just on the pitch, and he's into the bin. Julian White, who was sent off, you might remember, this season for a punch on Andrew Sheridan against Sale. So a very disappointing exit for Julian White.
You see here, the 9's coming round the side.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
it's not tiddlywinks, but it's not pretty. But Julian's a bull, and that's what happens when a bull, you know, he's clearing him out. I think that's all right. I'm going to live on the edge. That's fine in my book.
I've seen you play.
9 shouldn't have been there. That's a simple reason.
By the way, that was 18.5 stone on the scrum half Vergaccio, who's 5'7" and 12 stone 2. It's what you might call a mismatch. So 2 players in the bin now.
White.
10 minutes to go. 32 points to 15. The crowd baying for another score from England, another try from England. They've got the 2 already. Here's Hernandez. They almost put the replacement Fernandez under pressure there.
Well read by Danny Hipkiss there. Took a chance and came out the line and forced them back inside. They've turned it over.
They have indeed. Here's Hodgson with that turnover ball. Tom May in the 10 slot where he's played so well for Newcastle this season. It's Mark Cueto, but it's a forward pass. Miss Yorberdos adjudges. Julian White,
nicknamed Dinosaur by Mark Regan.
Well, you know, it's his 50th cap today. It's not really the way you want it to celebrate that, is it? With a sin binning. But David Wilson comes back on because of the sin binning for this scrummage. Boswaldo has gone off. James Haskell is off. And Granazzo will have come on for Argentina. So there's David Wilson. Fernandez Lobe, and he just trips over his own feet there.
Hands off! Hands off!
Fernandez Lobe. Vergaccio. Hernandez. Will we see some magic? He's not getting through that England defence at the moment. It's Tiesi. Sets the ball for Vergaccio. Dummy the inside pass. And now gets some support from Ayerza. And there goes Leguizamon, breaking through somehow. Here's Vergaccio. And now it's Tiesi, tackled by David Wilson and by Lewis Deacon. Good work by the 2 forwards. Here's Hernandez. Hernandez is covered. He's marshalled by many. And it's quick ball here for the Pumas. Here's Tiesi. Tiesi, the wide ball for Camacho. The 7's player with pace. Did a touch though, had to be, and the flag is up on this near side. It will not be a try for the man they call Macho Camacho.
Yeah, Van der Hand just did enough there. He lunged a bit early, but he's heavy enough to have knocked him off his stride, just to put that foot in touch. There you go. Dives enough. I think Dillon had him covered. He wasn't set up, but it's done enough by Banners.
Macho preferred to the very experienced Lucas Borges on the wing today. Old Trafford, by the way, one of the proposed venues should England successfully bid for the 2015 World Cup. By the way, there is a rugby connection with Old Trafford. George Best, would you believe, played out half for a short time at school, and apparently he was able to kick it quite well. Sam Vesty, what a moment for Vesty. At 27 years of age, he comes on to win his first cap, and the man who won his first cap at kick-off, Tom May, is replaced.
Yeah, Tom's doing very well today. He really has shored up that midfield. He's thrown himself into tackles and has made that difference.
Great reward for Vesty for some tremendous performances for Leicester this season.
Still could do with a haircut though.
The bubble perm of Sam Vesty. And Alan Major, publicly said this season that he really enjoyed playing at 12 with Vesty at 10. And the other options there, they had Toby Flood and Derek Huhard.
He's often got a bad rep, Sam Leicester, but he never lets Leicester down. He's one of those reliable players week in, week out.
Hernandez, here's Tiesi. That's underneath the posts for Argentina. Vergasio. Stefan Armitage makes the tackle, and he's bouldered out of the way. Rambaru stands over the ball. And now it's Roncero who takes it forward. Can Argentina finish with a try here? Can they broach this England line? They're very, very narrow there at the moment. Now they begin to spread out. Fernandes has moved to the left-hand side with Hernandez. Hernandez, a little dummy and show, but it's Stefan Armitage who makes the tackle with Sam Vesti. And here's Vergasio, looks to his right, finds Roncero to Leguizamon. And again the defence is sound. Wooden horse to get past this England defence today, the way it's playing so far. Here's Albacete. So Mike Ford will be happy that there will be no tries by Argentina today, but there's still time. Here's Hernandez, fires out the wide ball to Tiesi.
Still advantage.
And one of the replacements, Lasada, is there in support. Lasada of Toulon. Here's Roncero. He tries the flick, and we come back for the penalty. It's against Steve Borthwick for hands on the floor.
Captain.
Yeah, I think Fordy will be very happy with how the defence has gone today. Not just in terms of they've made all their tackles, but the work rate. I mean, as we can see from up here, Robbo, you can see all the players talking to each other. If we're deficient on one side or the other, they're waving people over, and everyone's responding to it. And that's what Fordy will be looking at, the small talk.
Guja has come back on. Arambaru has gone off, and Amaracino, number 22 from the Pucará club in Argentina, is on.
Thank you.
Matt Banahan is leaving the field as well. One of the try scorers for England, his first international try. A big day for him. Make another couple of tattoos to celebrate. If there's room on that body. Goes to the tail, and Leguizamon takes the ball beautifully. I've seen some great takes in the air in this game, both from the restart and in the line out.
Great defence from England again. They knew the drive was coming. And they've counter-driven it.
Well, we haven't seen the classic Argentina maul, have we, in this match?
Backward.
And there's a scrummage, so we'll go to Mike Tyndall. Mike, you're man of the match?
Yeah, there's been a few good performances out there. I think if you look at the back row and what they've done, they've made the breakdowns a real mess. Tom May's had a great game in defence and organising that. Quates had some nice handling along with Armitage. But Matt Banahan, I think, for me, with him scoring his try and just the work that you can see him doing off the field, on the field, he's covered every blade of grass. He's chased kicks, he's put pressure on, he's caught cross-field kicks, he's caught restarts. I think he's done a complete job.
Well, it's amazing, really. He was pulled out of the England Saxon squad and brought into this England senior side. And now not only has he scored a try in his debut, but he's man of the match as well.
Definitely one for him to remember.
Fernandez Lobbe, the dummy work there. Here's Hernandez. Hernandez steps inside, and it's quick feet, and it's magical feet from Hernandez. Jordan Crane has to make an important tackle there. It's Fernandez. Lasada.
No hands! Inside. 18 white. 18 white, move back. No.
Fernandez Lobbe just standing over the ball. It's about 3 minutes to go here. Argentina pressing and surging for a try here. Here's Fernandez inside Tiesi. Well tackled. Borthwick was one of them. Again, they had that channel very well covered in England. And now Fernandez has moved away to that left-hand side. That's where the backs and forwards are. But they've decided to go England here with Tate. Is there going to be enough space for Tate inside to Dan Hipkiss? Borthwick tries to wrestle the ball from him.
Ball.
Argentina doing their best to slow it down. Here's Hodgson now. And slow it is.
There was a small window of opportunity, but it's well and truly gone now.
Nguja, Amaracino takes on Stefan Armitage and Hodgson, and this is Nguja. Vergasio to Fernandez, little short goal to Tiesi, who's well tackled, upended again by England. Vergasio, and here's Fernandez and Marcus Ayerza drives on. Vergasio, Amaracino, and here's a one-man, well, Leguizamon. So Argentina finishing on the front foot here in the 22. It's going to be an England scrimmage roll for the infringement inside the final 2 minutes here at Old Trafford. England leading by 32 points to 15 and looking now to avenge that defeat in 2006 at Twickenham. This was a bit of a shocker for them and a bit of a shocker for Andy Robinson, the new Scotland coach.
140.
But your thoughts, Mike, on the way England have played this week, and how it compares to the way that they performed last week.
I think it's definitely a step in the right direction. I think what Martin Johnson and Brian Smith would have said last week is you just try too much, you try too many little offloads. We all want to see the offloads, we all want to see the running game, but sometimes you have to earn that. Will will talk about straight lines down the middle. Easter, what Haskell did, and Stefan Armitage getting over those gain lines and freeing up a bit more time and space for the likes of the back three. I think they'll take a lot more positives out of this game in terms of not only just defence. I think the defence has been outstanding. People who've come on as well, Hodgson have marshalled that and helped it. Davy Wilson has made some great tackles. He's going off again there. But generally positives again are in attack as well. Still, I think a little bit too many kicks away when we're in the opposition 40. We should probably keep the ball a bit longer. I'm not sure whether that might have been a tactic from the start of the week, but definitely a lot more positive this week than last week.
Jordan Crane picks up and goes. Leguizamon and Hernandez tackle him. Another big moment there was the arrival of Steve Thompson, his first camp for 3 years, the World Cup winner. What a kick that is! And what a kick through again by Mark Guido. Has he done it again for Don Alex for the second time? Yes, he has!
I think Carlos Tevez is just out of Manchester United, and they were going to sign it twice. He loves his football, he loves his talking about Manchester United. This will be a dream for him. He's just put that on the end of his boot, chipped it through to his old bunker at fullback, and Dylan's shown his pace, shown his gas, and finished it off. What a great try. You see here, great nudge. I thought this was on the money for him to pick up, but he's just nonchalantly chipped it over, watched it all the way. He's meant to do that. Well, it wasn't an accident, and Dylan's got the rewards from it. Slides on his face a little bit for a face plant, but there you go.
Well, it's easy to see what's happened here. Mark Cueto's at Old Trafford. He's a Manchester United supporter, and he's forgotten that he can catch it.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there.
So Andy Good to add a lick of gloss to this performance. Well, it's not to be, but it's convincing display, convincing result for England, winning by 37 points to 17 here. And that final try was what this big crowd at Old Trafford really wanted to see. They did boo a couple of times when Andy Good had the drop at goal when they didn't go wide, but they've had the finish that they wanted, Mike Taylor.
Yeah, definitely. I think England must have been under a little pressure from the management to come away with a win. You saw a lot of them trying to build the score, keep the scoreboard ticking over, which you want in any international game. Test matches are won on by building points, taking your drop goals, taking your points when you can. but also they've got to see this as how they're developing the